Good morning. Welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this Friday morning. This is it. It's the start. It's what we've been waiting for all since the end of last season. Just a friendly reminder. Should we do this? Yeah, let's do this. Just a friendly reminder to all of Scottish football how Celtic won the league last season. And the friggin' advert. And yes, the fans did go into the pitch, and yes, they got a little bit excited. And you had people like Chris Sutton saying Celtic fans need to get off the pitch. And memories of when we stopped the 10 at Ibrox and the Celtic fans went on the pitch. And look at this. This is the disgusting bit of behaviour from the new Mr. Disappointed. And if you watch here, he's spitting on the Celtic Park just to show a bit of disrespect. And there's the fans enjoying themselves with Callum Osmond, the man who won us the league. And look at this, Derek's like wee funny handshake pose is like that. Look at this security guy. Yeah, they're coming, fucking hell, there's hundreds of them, panicking. Absolutely fantastic. Dry your eyes, mate. We won the league fair and square. We beat you 3-1, and that was it. Absolutely brilliant. Scarves, banners, jerseys, green and white hoops. Absolutely fantastic. Yes, we won the league again. We won the league again. And on Monday night, we raised the flag. We raised the flag over Celtic Park again. Again. I was on the pitch when when Johnston stopped the 10. My sons were on the pitch in 2026. So proud. So proud. Absolutely tremendous. The lack of respect towards us, absolutely tremendous. We need to remind them. So it's a big shout out to all you lurkers out there of other Scottish teams. We know you'll click onto this just to see what's getting said. And yes, we won the league in fantastic fashion. We won the last 7 games. But this season, Martin O'Neill is not here just to take part. Martin O'Neill is here to take over. Yes, whilst we had the fantastic scenes and the likes of McInnes and everybody, and there's some of the lone players that were at Celtic, the Instagrammers, and there was Martin O'Neill was getting ushered up the tunnel, and there he is again. I love it. The rage. He's like, fucking Fenian bastards. Huck toe, motherfucker. Yeah. So that was brilliant, and he will be the new Mr. Disappointed this season. The Argentina of the Scottish League. Green Huns, exactly. And there's Callum Osmond. A fantastic season that this young man has got ahead of him. He will be a third choice keeper, but is Martin O'Neill about to rip up the rule book when it comes to the 4-3-3 formation that has plagued Celtic? Plagued Celtic since Brendan Rodgers came to the club. Is Martin O'Neill about to rip that up and say, no, we're away to play some decent, fast attacking football and play with 2 strikers up front? Absolutely brilliant. Anyway, sorry, we shouldn't laugh this morning because there's a serious side to the news this morning. I'm going to talk about Baur first, before we then talk about Alistair Johnston. I want to get the German one out the way first of all. So, we all know that Celtic have made an improved offer, but the German team just do not want to sell their player. They think that even though he's only got 12 months remaining on his contract, Celtic seem to think that Paderborn, or whatever they're called, they're not happy with the offer, but there's a lot of people starting to think that this deal will actually go through, considering that Baur didn't take part in a friendly against Southampton due to a cold. I hope it wasn't the Colombian flu. I hope it was a proper cold, and we hope he gets well soon as he gets ready to board the flight to come to Scotland. And the transfer timeline, I think that. Well, I think that this will be one that maybe goes to the later stages of the window when the player starts to get a bit, I want to go. I think he'll be telling he's already agreed terms with Celtic. Well, his team has, his agents and stuff. They've agreed everything with Celtic. We just need to wait until the Germans sort of get their finger out, and decide. Okay, we're not going to get any more money for him. We'll just take it. Will they dig their heels in and keep a player until the end of his contract? We don't know. Can see the guy down in tools. I hope he does down tools. But then people will say, well, if he downs tools at them and then he comes to Celtic, what's to say that he won't do the same at Celtic? I don't think so. Anyway, let's get on to Alistair Johnston, because Alistair Johnston is an interesting one. And I think that Celtic should just tell Everton, and there's good news kind of coming out of the Everton side, that Everton may be starting to look elsewhere. Everton are looking to pay around about 15 million tops for our little Canadian. Some people say, look, Alistair Johnston didn't make a great impact. He's been out for that big injury. He didn't make as good an impact as what a little Mexican did, Julian Araujo, and I think that Celtic, even though we're not going to go for Julian Araujo, because I don't think that Celtic are going to pay the 15 million, I think that Celtic will slap a not for sale sign on our Canadian. With that being said, there's news coming out of Liverpool that Everton could be looking at a Bayern Munich player as a replacement instead of going for Alistair Johnston. So that's good news as far as I'm concerned, because Celtic just need to turn around to Everton and say, look, he's not for sale. Greg Taylor's incoming. I got the text last night, so I went out and drowned my sorrows. Where's Paul Baird? There's only one thing that's coming home this summer, and it looks like it's Greg Taylor. Let's not talk about Greg Taylor just yet. I think Paul's maybe not even had his breakfast. I seen him online earlier, so he's maybe just went, you're having a laugh. That's he was online earlier on, but we'll get to that in a minute. So anyway, I think that Celtic should just throw a not for sale sign over our little Canadian. I don't think that 10 million, even 15 million is enough to replace. Okay, Celtic could try and get Araujo, but I don't think that Araujo is going to take that jump down in wages. It's been said that he's on around about 50 grand a week at his club. I'm just going to jump into some of the comments. 10 million, Everton taking the piss. Yes, Alistair Johnston, at least 30 million. Transfer market is rated around about 8 million after last season. It was 10 million before then. Everton can get for worth more than 15 million. Still need a goalkeeper. Yes, there is talk about Celtic going for a 24-year-old goalkeeper, but we've been linked with, I think it's around about 4 goalkeepers now over the transfer window. I think that if Celtic were looking for a number, I think that the Celtic are in a position where they're not sure if they're looking for a number 1 goalkeeper or if it's a number 2 goalkeeper. I think that there's a bit of, there's been plenty of goalkeepers that we've been linked with. There've been plenty of goalkeepers that have moved on. If you're looking for a third choice goalkeeper, I think that we left the best choice that Celtic had. We let him go last summer, but you just never know. And is Sinisalo good enough for the Champions League? Time will tell. We'll wait and see. Watch the Brit Baur. He's an Iniesta type player. We'll play midfield like a harp. Every forward or defence, split and pass is all through him. It's interesting. Everton are a real Irish sister club, not Liverpool. Yeah, Paul, I remember in the 80s, we used to have half and half scarves with Everton. It's nothing to do with Liverpool. The Liverpool connection only came around with Celtic when the first team to play them after the Hillsborough disaster, and that's when the sort of relationship with Celtic and Liverpool really got close then. But anyway, who cares about that? Who cares about Everton? Because I don't think that Alistair Johnston will be going to Everton. It looks like they're after a French guy from Bayern Munich who's been told that he is no longer needed at Bayern Munich. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see with that one. I hope it's just Celtic going, nah, it's not for sale. Anyway, let's move on from that. We've done that. We've done the Baur one. Right, let's talk about the formation. Is Martin O'Neill about to change Celtic forever and get rid of the dreaded 4-3-3 formation? When we look at the team, it's starting to look a little bit more lethal up front. And even though that Kasper hasn't been added, come on, Celtic. What's wrong with our club? Honestly, Kasper's been in the building how many days now? And he's still not on... He's not a midfielder, is he? No, there's no Kasper. No Kasper. I was looking forward to looking at the formidable attacking front line that we're going to have. And Celtic, once again, have... Man, it must take about 10 minutes to put a player onto the website. 5 minutes. New web page. Do you know, you go to your WordPress dashboard and you press new post, player post, name, picture. We ChatGPT to write about them because that's what you do at Celtic. And then you go publish. It's no hard, Celtic. Just takes 5 minutes. But anyway, Kasper isn't on the website. When you look at it, we've still got Johnny Kenny. I'm expecting Johnny Kenny now to leave the club. Just reading a couple of the comments that are coming through. Did Martin O'Neill not say you can only do formation changes pre-season? He did, and he also said that we need to change it up in the forthcoming season. So we'll wait and see. I think that it looks like Celtic are going to go 4-4-2 rather than a 3-5-2 because proper old school football, not the fancy stuff that Martin O'Neill used to play when he was Celtic manager back in the early days. Why would Engels move to the Championship? No idea. I think Martin is playing Taylor in midfield. He would be good at that in that position. Oh, yeah, I think so. Engels going to West Ham. We'll wait and see. Martin O'Neill should have implemented the new formation at the start of pre-season. Ali, he didn't have the squad and the availability. You were playing with too many youngsters, and he was testing out some of the youngsters just to see. There was too many players away. It was. I can understand why. Do you know, at Celtic Park, Ireland, Portugal, that none of the formation changes and none of the tactics were implemented then because there was too many players away from the club. Too many players still to return. Too many of the first team players that are going to be paramount to the formation changes. It's okay lining up with some of the players that are not going to be first team, but you need the core unit that's going to be with you for the season. I would say to get your formation change, get that drilled in. They've had a couple of weeks now back home before the game tomorrow night, so hopefully they've been working on stuff. Martin O'Neill did say that. He says it'd be good to get back to Lennoxtown, and we can start implementing some of the changes that we've got in mind for the season ahead. Maybe too many prying eyes and just not enough of this full permanent squad there, which says to me that I don't think there's going to be a massive fire sale of many more players. Rio Hatate has been suggested that he is on his way at the club. We all know that, and I think that Celtic are expecting something to happen with that in the next week. Arne Engels would be the only other player that I think that will leave the club this summer. Benjamin Nygren won't leave the club. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Alistair Johnston won't leave the club. If he does, And having just Colby Donovan and Tony Ralston is going to be a friggin' nightmare going into the Champions League. Let's be honest. Right, let me jump into some more of the comments this morning and see what you are all saying to it today. We're taking the piss with the Hassan deal. Everybody we're after seems to have personal terms agreed. So get the finger out and get them all in. I'm not sure whether I think the Hassan deal was still all about the bonuses, wasn't it? I don't know. I just noticed that Bollock Washer is still there. Yeah, Bollock Washer was one of the players that was getting used in midfield rather than a winger during pre-season. It would just be like Martin O'Neill to turn the young lad's career around. But I wonder if Everton will put a chapel in the new stadium. I don't know. It'll be CCV and Murray for Monday. Yep, I think well, it's going to have to be because isn't Austin Trusty carrying a little bit of an injury? Get rid of the wingers. They're all impotent, all of them. Use fullbacks for width. And have a hunting pack of 3 in the middle and play Benji up top just behind Duran and Casper. That's an interesting one. Right. Is it too early? Should we do a potential team for Monday night? The SPFL season does start tonight. Not that we're caring about the game tonight. I hope the Dundee United win. And Dundee United win handsomely. That's all that I'm saying. And then there's a couple of games tomorrow, and then a couple of games Sunday, and then back to Celtic Park for the biggest game of the weekend. Yes, raising the flag at Celtic Park. There's an interesting one coming out in Norwich, because Norwich were after Casper as well, if you remember. And they reckon that they have dodged a bullet with Casper at 11 million. They're now going for a player at 1.2 million, having just got rid of Jeffrey Schlupp and Shane Duffy. Remember them? They let them go at the end of their contracts. That's enough of saying about Norwich City. Anyway, more of your comments. Baz heard about the very talented 17-year-old striker, Mikael Bru Hansen, valued at around 1 million at Bodø Glimt. All the clubs are looking at him. Celtic should grab this lad. Ooh. Celtic and Everton were the last 2 teams to go public. Not 100%. Were they? Not true. Fancy Dundee United tonight. I think that would get the season off to a fantastic note and a fantastic start to the season. And the comedy value would just be up there. I wish we'd signed Marcelo. We need to quickly sign players. I feel like we have slowed down. We need to use momentum on Casper signing and get more players and get the fans on board. I mean, going into the weekend now, I mean, how do you feel about... We're not as advanced as what we... Let's face it, we've only brought in 3 players. The squad, whilst it does look stronger in the attacking front, I still think that we need a couple of decent wingers. I don't think that Yang and Sebastian Tenecti are going to be players that are going to set the header alight this year. You know, if Martin O'Neill does decide to go with 2 up front with Camilo Duran and Casper, Camilo and Casper, what a firepower. If they do decide to go 2 up front, I think it'll be a formidable partnership, and Celtic could be rolling back the years for Martin O'Neill to try and do something. That's Spanish outlet Marca reporting this morning that West Ham are close to signing Arne Engels from Celtic. Well, there we go. I did say that Arne Engels. I think if we sell Arne Engels for 25 million plus, we are not selling. I will say it again. We will not sell another player. We will not allow even if Alistair Johnston, even if a bid comes in for Alistair Johnston, I think that Celtic will say not for sale. We've sold Dyson for 10 million, which I think was a steal. If we get 25 million for Arnie Engels, that's giving us your 35 million. You've still got money to get for Rio Hitati when he comes in. We've made 5 million off other sales throughout the window. Celtic will still come out the window in profit, I think, but we need to go out and spend. I think that Celtic have still got £20 million to spend on players coming in. And if it's going to be another £8 to £10 million player, and then, I don't know, we'll wait and see. But I still think there's at least 20 million to be spent this window. So thanks up for Michelle for that one. Bit of breaking news this morning. Did I get that on that? Yeah, I've done the David Friel one, talking about Baur already. What's that one? Yeah, spoke about that one already. Anyway, right, that is me done and dusted for this morning. Let's just finish off with a nice little bit of hilarity. Yes, let's just remind Scottish football on that amazing day. The amazing day. Look at it. Fans enjoying themselves. Look at this guy here. Look at this guy here. He's got his hands up in the air. He's loving every minute. Fans taking selfies with Liam Scales. You know, absolutely over the moon. There is. I'm in front of him. Probably better staying that way. And then we'll get to the point where, yes, everybody's just having a good time. Just having a good time. And to those publications, I'm only going to say this once, but to the publications and the paymasters of go and fuck yourselves, publishing all the pictures of Celtic fans. That's all I'm going to say on it. If you know, you know. To get to the 40 million Champions League, we should spend another 20. I think so. Champions again. Ole, ole. Just some of the comments coming in. Fozzie, putting tears there. Dyson. Benji Nigran behind Dyson. The end of an era. The Ange Postecoglou era at Celtic is finally over. As we go into this season, there it is again. I'm just going to spit on the ground because I'm hard as hell and I've got a head the size of a melon. Right. Celtic fans, just there we go. There, pictures, selfies, and there's McInnes. Mr. I am disappointed. And remember, McInnes has never, let me repeat that, never managed to beat Celtic. Not at Aberdeen. He never managed to win a cup against Celtic. Came close a couple of times. Nowhere near in the league. Hearts, maybe thought he had his best chance. Better established club with Tony Bloom in charge, and he thought that we could just do it. He's going to be the man that's going to stop Celtic winning the league with Hearts. And they fell short again. And remember, this was the last time. We have to just reiterate. This was the last time that Derek McInnes was seen. He went into hiding and then buggered off to America to speak to Rangers. He disappeared. And remember as well, he spat the dummy out and he felt as if he was in harm's way. And he marched his troops out to the bus and they sneaked away. They didn't even pick up their second winners. No, they didn't win, did they? Celtic won the league. And I'm going to finish that off there. Just a little reminder of how Celtic won the season and we broke Hearts again. Yes, we broke Hearts just like we did back in 1986. What a bloody year it's been. Because if I remember right, back in January, I thought there was not a chance Celtic were winning the league. But to go on, and I've still got the thumbnail with must win 7 games. Look at that. Just everybody's just ecstatic. Just ecstatic. Let's get rid of that mainstream media where I stole the video from. Anyway, we move on, and that is it. Tonight, it all starts again. Let's hope that Dundee United can get off to a fine start in the league, and we'll hear the first disappointed of the season. That would be absolutely fantastic. Back to the old days of booting lumps out our team. Yes, it will be, won't it? But who cares? Because Celtic will come out on top again. Hail, hail, Baz loves the channel. Content makes my day with your banter and Celtic news. Thank you, mate. It's entertainment. You know, YouTube is entertainment. It's not here to just be morbid and yes, it's Celtic news with a little bit of joyous fun and laugh. And I can't wait till Derek McInnes go. No, in fact, I can't wait till the new Tav, the Mr. Disappointed. Can't wait till Wankland says disappointed. I can't wait till the Huns turn on wee Del. Yep, I'm going to give it till Christmas. Celtic's great at breaking hearts. We have that, the achy breaky heart. Don't break my heart. McVenis has never had a decent budget to play with. They're only building for the SBFL. Might have not have the World Cup next as well. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that later on. So I'm going to do a video this afternoon, and it looks like that every club in there's Paul has spoke. I hope Taylor disappears forever, never to be seen again. Ay. But don't pass. January was hell. Yeah, it was hell. It was hell. But we have to just remind ourselves it was great. Hearts struggled big time this season. Bottom 6 team. Yeah, we'll wait and see. And it was a great upbeat video. Yeah, it was that. Let's get right into the season. So I will be around about this afternoon, and I'm going to talk about some other stuff that is outside Celtic. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of an update on what may be happening transfer-wise. But I'm going to talk about the World Cup and stuff. And should Scotland just say to the hierarchy. Anyway, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world. And I mean that. Have a great day. Because we know